Hey everybody, Charlie and I are two here, and welcome back to Pentiment. We last left off, well, I'm here at the title screen because I'm starting a new play session. And I wanted to point out, I just noticed this now, if you look at the book here that's on the lectern, I guess that's a way to say that, you see that the chapter is where we're currently at in the game. I think that's a nice little touch, and I wanted to show that off. Anyway, let's hit continue. Pick it up. Oh yeah, that's what happened. So we went to sleep, trying to not participate in the pagan ritual that is going directly against the priory and the abbot. And I believe our little apprentice, Casper, I believe his name was, has probably gotten himself into trouble. So let's go check it out and see what we can find. He's probably in the woods participating in this event, if I were to guess. Let's check around. Are we just going to walk around in our little sleeping clothes? Because that's kind of cool, I guess. No one out here but the owls. Okay. Let's head to the forest. I believe that's where we're going to find them. And hopefully it's nothing bad. Meadow. Oh, we're running. We're running, but we're gonna pet Slough, cause I mean it's Slough. Who's a good boy? Girl? Who's a good kitty? We'll just say that. I don't know the typical gender of the name Slough. There's a lot of commotion tonight. It sounds like everyone's gone to the woods. Yeah, I figured as much. Oh, they're all out here in their weird pagan outfits. We got Grassface. We got Long Ears McGee. We got this weird owlick looking thing. Let's go check out and see if Smokey's home. Maybe he's got some advice. Smokey's probably in one of those outfits, huh? Nothing this way. Let's head the other direction. Can we talk to you guys? Let's go to the shrine. Oh, there's Casper. What's up, buddy? Oh, we're mad. We're big mad. Master Andreas, what are you doing out here? Well, I mean, you weren't supposed to be here. Oh, Casper, thank God I've been looking for you. I thought I told you to stay inside. Casper, what the hell are you doing? I told you to stay in bed. That is my answer. This will be remembered. Uh-oh. Sorry, Master Mailer. I was sleeping, but there was a big racket, and I wanted to see what was happening. Father Gurneau, what are you doing out here? I was chasing one of the townsfolk, but lost track of the costumed buffoon. The forest is off limits. I'll figure out who's breaking the rules and excommunicate them myself. Uh-oh. A murder? Someone is screaming in town? They're really taking this nonsense too far this year. Let's go back to town and see what's happened. Let's go back to town together and see what the noise was. What are we still doing here? Come on. Is this one of those games where they're like, hey, we're going to set this dude up to be the bad guy, and then halfway through you figure out, he wasn't the bad guy all along. It was my best friend. Because that happens a lot in games. I feel like that's a common trope that's used to try to like add a twist, but it's so common at this point that it's expected. I almost feel like it's not a twist at this point if you don't do that. Whoa. What did you find? Evidence. I've never seen these flowers before. I wonder where they found them. Who is that running off anyway? The killer. Who do you think's dead? You think it's Otto? It's too hard to tell who's who in those stupid costumes. We can worry about that later. Let's check on the town first. Who cares? Let's go see what that screaming's about. We can worry about it later. So I'm assuming the screaming is someone who found a body. Oh, it is Otto. Werner, is he? That's totally Otto. That's our boy. He helped us dig up a dead body. and somebody silenced them. I haven't been to the mill. This isn't the mill, though, is it? This is the town. Okay, I haven't seen this part of town. They were clearly constructing something. Must have been a pallet of stones suspended up here that was broken at just the right time. He is messed up. Dead? Yes, I'm afraid so. Well, we know I didn't do it. We know he didn't do it. Well, no, now do we, though? The scream didn't necessarily happen as he died. The scream probably happened when someone discovered him. So unless we have a witness to what happened here, we don't actually have a time of death. So it very well could have been the abbot. Though he does seem... well, I don't know. I guess he's playing his role well if it's the case. Someone released the rope. The platform crushed him. What? How did this happen? Baltas and Linhart heard the crash and stepped outside to see what happened. So he heard the crash, so we should have a relative time of death. Right? And then we saw a figure in a costume rushing off from the rat house. Must have been whoever released the rope. Well, we don't know that. They could have just been running away out of fear. And what were you doing during all of this, Linhart? Enjoying a light meal with these gentlemen. Ah, what a shame you can't blame me for this, Peter. Casper looked to see if Otto had a note. Just because these three gave their testimony just here doesn't mean that they're innocent either. They could be covering for each other. Huh? Do it. Why would you make Casper go do that? You go do that. No, Master, there's nothing. Are you certain? What were you expecting? I'm not sure. My God! Eva, oh no, Eva, that's your husband. Otto! No, no! A+ voice acting, I know. You. The abbot must have killed him. See, I can do light voice acting. I don't want to, though. It gets tiresome. Bastard always had it out for Otto. We all knew it. So they think the abbot did it. We need answers. But this could be a case where they're trying to make a martyr out of Otto to make it seem like the abbot and the priory did it so they can ignite a war. I mean, that seems like it to me, right? So if that's the case, who would have done it? If indeed it was the character who was in the outfit, then we can rule out all of these people. But we have no way of knowing that. Who is not here? I do not see... I don't see the... What's his name? Andres? The blacksmith? I'm not seeing him. Martin? That's not Martin, is it? Where's Martin? I don't see Martin either. I like how we have, like, all the intellectuals on this side. And then we've got, like, the dirty peasants on this side. Clarification, I don't believe they're dirty peasants. I'm saying that's kind of like their point of view. I won't just stand here and be accused of such a foul act by a peasant. No, you're falling right into their trap. Go after him. Wait, no, the abbot was with us. He's innocent. That's right. There's no way it could have killed Otto. Casper is right, even if we don't have any proof. No, there's... In reality, there is a way he could have been part of it. Those that are dressed up could have been part of the priory that he hired or conspired to have kill Otto. But I don't think the priory would have done that because they knew that would spark a war. So I really don't think the priory's involved in this at this moment. We may find other evidence that may change my mind, but right now we're going to say there's no way he killed Otto. Grab the artist and the boy too. We'll get to the bottom of this. Casper, run. To the Abbey. Oh no, we're going to the Abbey for safety? Oh, we're not controlling this. We're running pretty darn slowly. It's like a light jog to get away from the angry mob. I'd be surprised if the Abbey would even let us in. This is the most action this game has seen thus far. Great game so far, by the way. Definitely unique, different, but I do enjoy it. As enjoyable as Disco Elysium? No. But still enjoyable. I'd be interested to see how much our choices actually change outcomes of things. Like, are there different endings and such? They ran through the church this way. Where are we going to hide at this point? That dude just said, screw y'all. They've locked the door. Well, we're screwed. Andreas, get out of the way. Otto's death demands justice. The abbot couldn't have killed Otto. He was with us when we found the body. That's true, he did arrive with you, but you don't know where he was before that, do you, Andres? No, we don't, actually. Who else would want to kill Otto? Coward, killer, Andreas, move. All right, let's look up these choices. I feel this is probably a very important choice. I'm not moving, I won't let you in. If you go after Gernot, the real killer will get away. I don't like his stance any more than you, but violence is not the answer here, Peter. Stand your ground. Gernot would not have had time to run from the commons to the forest to come back with us. There must be another killer, don't you see? No mercy, face us. He's a monster. If those monks don't come out, we'll set fire to the whole place and cook them. You've all gone mad. Excuse me, I can't even speak. You've all gone mad. Even if you don't trust the abbot, trust me. I swear he wasn't the one to do it. He was with me. Look, Gernot wasn't the only one who disagreed or disliked Otto. There must be someone else who killed him. You all have good reasons to hate the abbot, but he's not the culprit here. Everyone was in costume, so anybody could have had the chance to kill Otto for any reason. Yeah, I didn't recognize most of you in your outfits until you talked to me. Fine, damn it, you've got 1 day. 1 day to find whoever you think is the real killer, Andres. Otherwise, we will come back for the abbot. Andreas, all I want is justice for my husband. Please, you must find the murderer. Eva, Otto is a good man. I won't stop until I find who killed him. All right, so the second murder. Somehow we've become Sherlock Holmes. Wait, we went all the way to the next evening? Or afternoon, rather? Peasants are really convinced that Gernot killed Otto, but it was impossible. Peter's temper got in the way. The abbot is an easy target because he was at odds with Otto and his cause. It's no secret that Gernot and Otto were at odds. I don't wish death on the man, but the abbot is an ass. True. I understand why Peter jumped to that conclusion. Master, Peter was furious. He's only given you a day to find the murderer. Why'd you even agree to find who really killed Otto anyway? It didn't turn out well last time, did it? Why do it again? Everyone deserves justice, Casper. Honestly, anything could keep me back from going keep me from going back to Nuremberg. I don't want to talk about it. Everyone deserves justice. You have a good heart, Master Andres. So who do you think did it then? Where do we even start? We should talk to Linhard. He always hated the peasants and supported the abbot. Really? You think that's the guy to talk to? The guy who hates the peasants? What does he even look like again? Oh yeah, this douche. He was very vocal against Otto in town commons the other day. He might have hated Otto enough to kill him. It's worth talking to him and finding out. Even if he didn't kill Otto, he might know who else had the motivation to. I agree with that. Well, what about Martin Bauer? When we saw him talking to Otto, they seemed to be arguing over something. It's not likely. Martin supported Otto and the peasants. It actually is likely, though, because if he supported the peasants, if you make a martyr out of Otto, then that will spark the violence. Martin was always an ass. If they had bad enough argument, he could have wanted to kill Otto. It would be worth talking to Martin to see what they were discussing. He might have an idea of who would want to kill Otto. We're going to keep it open-ended for now. Good idea. Who else? I'm sure we can find some other suspects. We'll have to do some more investigating to find out who the murderer is, but we better move fast. Could the murderer confess to Father Tomas? Or it could be Father Tomas. Probably not. That would be foolhardy. Well, maybe. Even if the murderer did, Father Tomas is bound by the seal of confession. He won't tell us. I'm going to say probably not. However, we could eavesdrop on confessions. Since St. John's Eve just happened, the townsfolk will all come in to confess. Oh yeah, one of the townsfolk might have heard something anyway. That's a good place to start. We could also ask around to the Golden Hand. Travelers might have seen or heard something useful. People will tell outsiders anything. They might have heard something we missed. What about the person who ran by us in the forest? They were wearing these flowers. I've never seen them before. It's like our only evidence. Right, we have to find the source of these flowers in the woods. That might give us some sort of connection to the killer. The flower might have a medicinal use. Someone with medical knowledge in Tassie might know where it grows. That would be... I don't remember the dude's name. He's in the top of town, the doctor. We should ask them, but who would have that knowledge? Those I know with such a background are Brother Florian, Sister Gertrude, Agnes... Werner Stoltz, that's the one. We have a lot of good places to start. Even though time is short, we have a good chance at finding the real killer. Let's get to work. So I would imagine, just like before, you do not have the time to talk to everyone. So you've got to pick your battles here and then kind of make the best judgment you can off of that. I'm wondering if this game will actually give you the true account of what happened, or if it's just whatever you deem is the true account is the true account. Let's talk to Hannah. Hello, Master Mailer. Anything I can do for you? Yes, actually. You were pretty vocal against Otto in the town commons. What was that about? Just what I said then. I don't want anyone to get hurt, especially now. We've already had one death in Tassie. We don't need any more. What about the plight of the peasants? They're dying too. That doesn't explain why you spoke out. Otto never advocated for violence. You were opposed to Otto's ideas, though. He spoke against violence. I guess that one makes the most sense, but I understand why she spoke out even though he was speaking non-violence. Because that's going to get violent one way or another, even if he didn't want violence. Otto was an ideologue? I don't know that word. Ideologue? He didn't see the reality of situations. So he's an idea man, right? Head in the clouds. The Golden Hand relies on pilgrims and travelers for its business, Andres. If Otto got his way, everything would be chaos. Swabia is burning as it is. We need the law to live civilized lives, Andreas. What Otto was advocating for scared me. Seems like a strong motive to want Otto out of the way. She didn't kill Otto. I'll do whatever I can to find the murderer and still order again. Let's just say that. Thank you, Master Mailer. I wish you the best of luck. So, typically, and please don't misunderstand me for this being a statement that can be misconstrued as a sexist statement, but typically, when murders happen, if the female is the culprit, it's usually like passive-aggressive, like poisoning or something like that. Crimes of passion notwithstanding, but That doesn't mean it's always the case, so it doesn't mean that, just because she's a female, she's innocent, but just like the law of averages would state that usually men would tend to do more blatantly, forwardly aggressive acts to kill someone. Let's talk to Samuel. Hello, Andres. That's all he has to say. Great. Good talking with you, Samuel. What about you, Nico? Master Mailer, is there anything I can do for you? Nico, have you heard anyone in here talking about Otto's murder? Not just talking about it, but, Yeah, he understands, Casper. Thank you. Let's back Casper up. He's had a tough day. We had him go rifling through a dead man's belongings. Exactly. Like they had something to do with it? Oh no, I think I'd remember something like that. Then again, I try not to eavesdrop on conversations. I don't want to get yelled at or worse. But maybe you could find more luck talking to people. Beer always tends to loosen people's lips. Buy around for everyone, and you can have the run of the place. You'll be here a while, though. Maybe later. Okay, so we can pass time by just straight buying everybody a beer. Joshua. But it's like Joshua, right? Instead of Joshua. All right. So we can come here, we can kill time. I don't want to do anything that moves time yet. Unfortunately, that tends to happen without me wanting it to sometimes. Now, if I were me, and I am, I would want to get the tea from Smokey. Smokey, what do you know? Do you need something, Master Mailer? Have you seen this flower anywhere around Tassing, Smokey? Oh yeah, those little yellow ones grow around Tassia's shrine in the forest. If you're looking for them, try looking around the edges of the shrine. The main path is too dry. Thank you, Smokey. Always happy to help you, Master Mailer. Okay. Investigate the shrine. See, this I like. Why does this plant look so weird? Y'all see that? Is that coming through on the recording? It looks like it's like got weird texture or aliasing problems. I don't know. I'm not a tech guy when it comes to like coding and software. Searching around the edges, like here. Master, I think I see an opening behind these trees that leads to a deeper area of the forest. Could this be where the mysterious costume figure ran when Otto was murdered? We should see where it leads. It could take a while, though. Ugh, take a while. We'll come back when we have more time. Right now, my curiosity's got the better of me. That's where I want to spend my time. But let's see what our other options are first. All right, so Church and Drukas. Church. We could eavesdrop here. I don't want to do that. Attilia, what do you got to say? Andreas, enjoy the bonfire? Up until the murder? No, I'm not quite accustomed to these rural traditions. Not as much as you did. Let's say up until the murder, I suppose. They only seem to happen when you're here. What are you doing back here anyway? I came to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Why, he can't hear you. He's gone. Seems like a strange response for a woman who's made a shrine to her dead husband. I believe he can hear me. For my own sake, I suppose. All right, I understand that. Stupid, but I understand it. Can't imagine why anyone would come to Tassing unless they were desperate. Do you work for Father Tomas? Work for? I'm his slave. I clean this damn church and keep his house so I have a roof over my head. Around the time the bar on Baron. Why did I read that as bar on? There's a weird gap here. Like you can forgive me for that, right? Because like it's a weird gap. Around the time the Baron was murdered, I lost my home. That bastard, the abbot, took it from me. Now I have to rely on the charity of the church. I hate the church as much as the abbey. I wish there were a hell so I could send the lot of these holy men there. I understand. You don't, you can't, no matter. Do you know anything about Otto's murder? No, why would I, and why do you care? I'm just asking, you never know who might have seen or heard something. I don't want to see Peter and the other peasants burn down the abbey. I really don't care about them burning down the abbey so much, but there will be repercussions from, was it the Bishop Prince? And basically these guys will all be slaughtered. I'm just asking. You never know who might have seen or heard something. Well, I haven't. Are we done? Yes. Until later. Let's talk to Tomas. Oh, Andreas, what have you come back to? What does that mean? This is all awful, just awful. I should never have allowed Klaus to publish the 12 articles. This is what happens when common people get agitated by reading nonsense. Oh, you are just a horrible person. Nonsense? Is that what you think of the 12 articles? What's the alternative? Forbidding them from reading? Sometimes, yes. Horrible, horrible person. Just because a commoner has learned to read, that does not mean he can fully comprehend any book he finds. Horrible person. I hate you so much. Some of these texts were written to inflame passions. They're not all written with modest intentions. These pamphlets, these books can make people crazed, furious. Sister Amelie and I have seen what happens when good people become part of a mob. What do you mean? Before we came to Tassing, I was the priest at a town near Benedictine convent. The town was full of good people. But the good people were whipped into a panic by an educated neighbor, the town doctor. He had read the Malus Maleficarum. Sorry, I get wrapped up on these pronunciations. The Hammer of Witches, a treatise on witchcraft published in Speyer in 1486. Theologians at the University of Cologne condemned the book as unethical and not in line with Catholic doctrine. Despite this, the book has enjoyed widespread popularity. It put ideas into his head. The witch hunting manual? The author was driven out of Innsbruck, wasn't he? Yes, though word of that had not reached our doctor. One thing the book's author and the doctor shared was a contempt for and hatred of women. In the convent, the doctor saw a coven of witches. In Sister Amelie, he saw not a mystic, but a woman possessed by evil spirits speaking blasphemy. But surely the logical magistrate didn't believe that. No, he did not, but that didn't matter. The doctor inflamed his neighbor's fears. No matter what I said, it made no difference, no matter what I did and what I said. They wouldn't listen to reason. They wouldn't even listen to Scripture. In the dead of the night, they gathered at the convent and set fire to it. Sister Amelie was lucky to escape with her life. The rest of the nuns were not as fortunate. So I'm all too aware of what can happen when a mob forms. I should have known it would happen again. This is my fault. Don't say anything, because he is saying this is my fault. You would have motive to kill Otto. But I would think, I don't think he's as intelligent as some of these other figures within the church here. So I believe he's maybe even a true believer. And thus he would think that if he killed Otto, he could quell the rebellion, as it were, rather than incite violence. You did think that Otto's death would have shocked the farmers into abandoning a hopeless cause. You'd think that Otto's death would have shocked the farmers into abandoning a hopeless cause. That seems like a confession to me. Because that just proves what I thought. Because I would believe, personally, that killing Otto would spark a war. But he's saying to my face that he thinks that if Otto dies, the rebellion would be quelled, which gives him strong motive to do this. It's only inflamed them. Do what you can to keep the peasants calm. I'm still looking for Otto's killer. It should never have come to this. The abbot should have known he was playing with fire. It will be all right. Have faith. I'm going to say the second one. The abbot should have known he was playing with fire. And what about Otto and Peter? What about Klaus? Shouldn't they have known? Peasants are being butchered all over Swabia. I just want this to stop before it gets any worse. I suppose there's no good fretting about what's already happened. I have to minister to the people of the town as best I can given the circumstances and pray for the best. Speaking of which, I need to hear confessions for the townsfolk. It's a Tassian tradition after St. John's Eve in case they get up to any mischief. They can't wait until Easter. I have to give priority to the locals, of course, but if you want to wait a few hours, I can hear you. You don't have to, of course, but I would be remiss if I didn't offer. Not right now. Of course. All right, you are top of my list right now. Top of my list. Let's go out here so it saves. Boom. Save icon in the lower right. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is the killer right now based off of the info that we've been given? So far, I'm thinking Thomas, but that may very well change once I talk to a few other people. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.